Hello, everyone, and welcome to Speak On It Comics, where we discuss any and all topics in the wonderful world of comics. My name is Charles.
Eli. We're here, Fortress Solitude, 52 University Avenue. Great place, great people.
Yes.
Speaking of great people, my boy for a long time now.
Yes. I mean, we've been comic buds for some time now, and
Lost track of time.
you know, we still. You can always edit that, right?
Oh yeah, no, just keep going.
Yeah. So first off, I just wanted to just spotlight a couple of comics that we felt that would be a great discussion for today.
Real quick, what we want to do now with Speak On, since my boy here is very indie-esque, he knows all about a lot of indie comics and stuff, and me, it's like training day, right? Mm-hmm. So I read a couple indie comics here and there, but I think I gravitate more towards the brand stuff. But I was always interested in learning indie comics. So I'm the rookie in this situation, at least for today. So what we're going to be doing with this show, he's going to be bringing us into the indie world and indie comics, and we're going to talk about other than Marvel and DC. We will mention them here. We are in a comic book shop. It's all here, all types of comics. So what Charles did, he's going to pick a comic per week or whenever we're here, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to read it real quick, and then we'll go back and forth. We'll give our 2 cents, and then he'll give his picks of the next show. So, but I'm sorry for the interruption. But.
No problem. That's great. Like I said, comics is comics. We talk about everything from Marvel to DC to Image to AWA, whichever. We talk comics. It doesn't matter if it's manga, anime, whatever it is. If it's comics, we discuss it. So, thanks you guys for tuning in. Thanks you guys for showing up. Appreciate it. And without further ado, let's speak on it.
Speak on it.
One first comic that we wanted to kind of discuss was I chose this particular comic here called The Knighted. It's written by Greg Hurwitz, the artist Mark Texeira. Hope I didn't butcher that name. But really great comic. And the basic premise of the comic is he's sort of a Batman-esque character. And what happens is that Bob, who is the main character, he's down in his luck. Nothing's happening right. Actually, something really, really horrible happens to this gentleman right in the beginning of the book. So you're totally invested in seeing what this guy's situation is and how his life's going to turn out. Well, it tends to turn out a little bit interesting because he accidentally kills the knight, who is a character that a lot of people supposedly, it's a Batman-esque character, look up to, they fear, and he's dead. So unfortunately, he has to take up the mantle, and he has to become the knighted. So, which is called the knighted, sort of like the round table type of thing. Like he's been knighted into becoming this particular superhero. So, it's a really fantastic read. It's really fun. It's sort of like sort of meta a little bit, but it does have some interesting themes in there, and I think you guys will enjoy it. I will say the second issue did come out, which I will show. It just dropped last month, and the third issue is coming out this week. So please, if you haven't picked up this issue, check it out. I'm sure you guys will like it, and I think you guys will enjoy it. I'm just gonna show you a little bit of the art.
We got some footage too. We'll show later.
Yeah. So just to give you a taste of the art, not to give any spoilers, but this is the art of the book here, and Eli's the artist, so I definitely want to kind of get his, feedback on what he thinks about the art in this comic.
Well, first I'll go into the comic book. I read it. I think it's interesting. It's very boys type. I got that kind of the boys vibe. So if you're a fan of Amazon Prime's The Boys, also it's been comics. What company made The Boys? Was it Image?
That was actually
Dynamite.
That was Dynamite.
Dynamite. Sorry guys, Dynamite did it. The art here is very cool. It's very reminiscent of a lot of the Marvel and DC stuff. I mean, we even got in here. We got Morgan Freeman here. You know, I won't say who he is. He just makes an appearance. The story was, like he said, it was about this guy that kind of got beat down by life. You know, should we do the spoiler-esque part?
I mean, we can talk a little bit about what this guy went through.
Well, the poor guy gets what? Dumped by his lady, pretty much. She said he's ballless. He's not a man. You know, he proposes to her, and she's like, he's a police, but he's not. What is he, like a tech guy?
Yeah, he's pushing papers.
He's a paper pusher.
He's
nothing wrong with that.
I mean, nothing wrong with that, but I think what it is that it's kind of reminiscent of him as a person, and his girlfriend is kind of looking for something else out of him. You know, she
definitely found the wrong person, Bob. You know, you got to find, you know. But anyway, that's the podcast for another day. Choices.
That definitely is.
So I like how you watch him get pushed around through the first 90% of the book, and then that scene comes where this guy bites the bullet. We won't say how, but you know, then Bob ends up having to don the mask.
Yes.
Right. And it pretty much ends there. I haven't read issue 2 yet. I actually read this today. I think it's interesting. I'm interested to see, you know, usually what I do with comics, even like with the Marvel DC stuff, I try to read the whole thing, like a movie, you know what I mean? I watch the whole movie before I say, it sucks or it's good. Especially real quick with us, we're not the type to kind of like crap on everything just for the sake of it. We give our complete, honest opinion. Like I think, what would you rate this book, in your opinion?
I mean, if it's a 5-star type thing, I would give it
at least first issue.
I would give the first issue like a little bit more than 3.5. I would get it close to the 4, but not quite. But I will say that it's one of those stories that when you read it for the first time, I mean, if you're a superhero fan or you just a person that, you know, knows what it is to kind of relate to a person who's been through so much and now he has to take on this mantle of being a hero, I think you would really connect with this character. It's a lot of funny stuff that happens in there because the reaction, there's not too many people that knows this guy is dead. It's only like the person that knows, you know, it's kind of like an Alfred type of character. And you know, it's kind of surprising of his of his reaction after finding out that this guy had you know, died. But Bob is a little bit reluctant at first, but then he understands the validity and the responsibility and the fact that this character needs to exist, you know, otherwise there's chaos. So I think that's the kind of thing where, and also I think it's a sort of internal conflict with Bob too itself. I think he wants to kind of feel alive and want to be out of the shell that he's kind of created for himself. So it's a very interesting story.
He read issue 2, told me a little bit, so I'm not gonna lie. So he was saying in a little that Bob ends up hearing the voices of the naysayer while he's doing this. I'm thinking my man ends up getting high in his own supply at some point. And I'm thinking by the end of the series, Bob ain't gonna be a good guy. That's just my opinion.
That's interesting.
Because from him dealing with it, you know, like like you said, everyday man, we all know what it's like to get beat down. Some of us, most people, Bob had low self-esteem, we can tell. But he gets high in his own supply. It was funny, I was talking to somebody too about, like, you know, people get different labels.
Sure.
Like someone becomes a higher up, how they crap on everybody underneath because now, like, the little nerd, the little guy that got pushed around became a hero, you know, became pretty much the villain of their own story. So that's my opinion. Hey, Bob might be a great guy at the end, who knows? But I'm thinking not so much, or he ends up becoming really effed up and then ends up changing his ways. That's my 2 cents.
That's an interesting concept. I mean, I'm rooting for Bob. I'm rooting for him to be the man he's supposed to be, and he takes on this mantle, and he's up against some really bad guys. So I'm telling you,
read issue 2.
You gotta read this issue. So if you haven't, go to your local comic book shop. You got
Fortress of Solitude, 50 University Avenue.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously we're here.
There's
Come
others.
and enjoy, but like I said, if you haven't.
Okay.
All right, guys. Welcome to Speak On It Comics, where we discuss any and all topics in the wonderful world of comics. My name is Charles.
Eli.
And we have a really exciting show. So, without further ado, let's speak on it.
Book 2.
Book 2. Batman the Imposter. Now, this is for DC's Black Label. For those who are not familiar, Black Label is DC's edgier, grimly, adult
Esque.
content imprint. So it's
One day we'll talk about the Batman piece of Batman that the Black Label. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we won't say it because we have younger viewers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Batman showed something and caused this whole havoc. So Black Label was supposed to be completely R-rated, not like X-rated, but like R-rated or at least a little, NC-17-ish.
Right.
But something happened with their first issue. What was that one? Damned. Batman Damned.
Yes.
Look for issue 1, the original.
Which was very interesting.
I have it signed by Jim Lee, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pee-pee.
It's a very interesting comic anyway. I mean, it has a lot. Well,
So it started all these. So now,
Yeah.
I guess DC found what they wanted to do. So that's where this is the child of the damned.
Yeah, so Batman Imposter, it's a newer comic that came out from DC, Black Label imprint. So this is the first issue here, and the concept is really taken from, I would say that the imagery of this particular Batman, because there's always different reiterations of Batman on comics, but this particular iteration is really taken from the new Batman movie that's coming out with Matt Reeves. Which should be March, right?
March, yeah.
So I think that it has that kind of aesthetic to it. But the premise is just basically that there is another Batman or person posing as Batman, and they're actually killing criminals. So obviously the GCPD is, not happy. This is Batman year one.
Yeah.
So they're not really familiar with if Batman
is.
is a vigilante or if he's really working on the side of a hero. So they're not really certain. So on that retrospect, he does come across, there's like 2 timelines. So there is showing what happened to him before and then after. And he kind of appears in someone's apartment. He's very damaged through a particular battle that he had, and this particular person, she wants to help, and but she also is a little bit concerned because she doesn't know if he's the Batman that's killing people as well. So it's really, really great. I think that they did a great job. Madison Tomlin is the writer. Andrea Sorrentino is the actual artist, and we're going to show little excerpts of the art as well. Just so you guys know, but you've read Batman the Imposter. What did you think?
I read
of it?
since it's been...
Eli. I just want you guys to know that Eli's a huge Batman fan, and it's funny that we're doing the Batman the Imposter because we've read so many different stories on Batman. But tell me a little bit about what you thought.
The art was great, like you said. It was very the Batman new movie look. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was what they were aiming for. Even the way Bruce Wayne looks like. Mm-hmm. So where's that page? Where he has. Oh, look at that! I just found it. Check this out. Very new movie look with the black eyes and the hair and all that. This is Bruce. Mm-hmm. I thought it was interesting. It's definitely bringing Batman to a very gritty reality. Here's the first one, the first pages. We got Leslie Tompkins here. Everyone knows her from the Batman mythos, the one that took care of Bruce when he was small. But in this, she's just meeting him for the first time, but they kind of drop her name. Mm-hmm. We have a couple of side characters. We have a Detective Wong or Officer Wong? Detective. Mm-hmm. So she's in charge of looking into the whole Batman murders. Mm-hmm. We go into her storyline, her backstory, and her character, and also we have Otis.
Yes.
Those that seen Suicide Squad, or those that know, let's see if we can find a picture of him before I say who he is. He is definitely a small part of it, but a major part. I don't want to show that because people know. Look at this guy's face. Face only a mother rat would love. Rat catcher. So, a little bit spoiler. So Otis plays in this because Batman helps him out at some point where he mentions it, and Otis is kind of a loner, maybe a little slightly suicidal too. and Batman saves his life. So at one point when he runs into a Batman, he shows Batman the local sewer system. That'll play later.
Yeah.
In the show. I mean, in the comic.
In the comic,
In
yeah.
the comic. So
yeah.
it was pretty good. First issue I liked a lot. What I liked about it the most was the psychological part between Leslie and Bruce, where she was really breaking down who he is and why he does what he does, and why he puts himself in danger and what he should be doing different. And she makes a pact with him. Since she finds out he's Bruce, she says, "You have to show up." It was every day or every week,
Yes.
once a week, something like that.
Something like that.
He has to show up to her apartment to get psychoanalyzed, or she will
Awesome.
out him.
Yeah.
So.
So she's,
First issue was interesting. He picked this one too.
yeah, it was very interesting. I've read quite a few Batman stories, and this one, I have to say, they did a great job. They are up to the 3rd issue of this one, I believe.
It's a conclusion. I don't know if it's 3rd or 4th.
I believe that, they came out with issue 2, and I believe they just came out with issue 3 last week, I believe. So if you get a chance, please pick it up, and
If you have a local comic shop, if not, come to Fortress of Solitude,
Fortress, yeah.
53 University Avenue. So when we wrap up these shows, we want to kind of do a prime pick, a Fortress of Solitude. So
Yeah.
I'll let you know what I'll do mine first.
yeah.
My prime pick here. So a couple months ago, we were treated to Batman '89. Yes, Batman, I know. Well, if you guys know me from popping out, you know the Batman stuff. So this is actually kind of a continuation from the movies '89. Now we know Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman, whether it's for a short period or not. In the films, we know it's beloved. I mean, this symbol started, everything, and the animated series started because of that. I'm a huge animated series fan, if you guys know me. So I'm liking the way it even delves into Harvey Dent, played by Billy D. Williams, So it's like, it's kind of cool because it's kind of like the movies we could have gotten. But at the same time, there's really no cheese. Again, the last 2 Batman movies aren't my favorites. I have respect for everything. Batman and Robin was a little painful. Sorry. It's my opinion. I don't crap on anyone that likes it, but just me. But it kind of stays within the Batman, and as you see, even Catwoman here, she has the Michelle Pfeiffer look to it. So this
Great
is
cover. Great
beautiful.
cover.
This was
Yeah.
from the issue 4 that just came out. So this is my prime pick, Batman '89. Check it out.
I wonder who did the cover on that one. If it was
Babs Tarr.
okay,
Babs
so
Tarr.
Babs Tarr. Nice job.
Cool. Babs Bunny, no relation. That's kind of an old reference. But they will be back on HBO Max, by the way. Tiny Toons are coming back, so.
Yeah, no, it's definitely.
And Animaniacs is back. That's another problem.
So my prime pick,
Prime pick.
it will be A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, and you can see from the cover, it kind of looks like
Wong.
Leave
me out of this.
Anybody that knows, it's Doctor Strange. Anybody who's familiar, and this story is very interesting. It doesn't have dialogue.
No spoilers, because he wants me. I'm going to read this book.
It doesn't have.
No dialogue.
So the great thing about this
Should read
is
it now.
you can read it right now as I'm talking, sir. But it's by Rick Remender, who's the writer, and Andre Lama Arroyo.
Arroyo?
I never know how to roll my.
I'm horrible at names
I'm
in
very
general.
hard. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but really great art, really great story. It's like the draftsmanship in this is just amazing. There's, I won't say it's no dialogue, but there's very little. Very, 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 very little. But it tells the story nonetheless, and you really get to see the journey with this particular character. There is a very nice surprise at the end, like a very interesting surprise once you get to the end of the book. But not to say too much about it, just for you to, pick it up, read it. It just has a very interesting story about this guy. You just kind of follow him throughout. He's getting on the bus, he's getting all these different places, and something happens in the middle of the book that ties into the end of the book. That's all I'll say.
So there has to be a lot of vengeance because
Yeah.
it says righteous thirst for vengeance.
Well, yeah,
So
it's
something
one
bad.
it's one of those things that at the end of the book you're like I was at all. So I really
I will be looking into this, and this will be
yeah.
the next
this
show?
is going to be the next show.
This will be our
we're
next
gonna
show.
Be talking about this book, and you guys pick it up. For those who already picked it up, please tell me about it at the
Yeah, by the
link,
way,
you know?
anything you're interested in,
Yeah.
Any
Tell us about
feedback
it.
you want to know, let us know. I'm on. So you want to give some of your handles, your social media?
Oh yeah.
For those that can find us?
Yeah, Speak On It CE. Okay, Speak On It CE. Actually, comics events.
There you go.
So that's what it's going to be. And please, we appreciate everybody's input. We appreciate your all you guys coming in and tuning in and hanging out with us and listening to us. And we have a lot of great shows that we're going to have. We're going to have a lot of guests. We're going to have a lot of people, maybe one of you guys come in and and talk
Open
with
to
us
anybody.
about comics. Hopefully we can get back to COVID pending. We used to do live shows in the past. We're hoping that eventually we can do live shows again, and anyone that is it doesn't matter if you're into comics for a short time, a long time, you was in comics in the past and you left it and you came back, it doesn't matter. You're always welcome.
We would also any indie artists or anyone working on their own comics or and reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. Just like at a comic shop, we were talking here for 3 hours with a couple guys here that just came to the store for the first time. You guys could find me on Art of Eli on Facebook, Instagram, also TikTok as well. Yes, my students told me to go on TikTok and I listen. So you can find me there on Popping Out also. My brother and me does toys.
Yes,
he's going to be part of the crew as well. We all
Yes.
kind of team up like the Justice League. So on that note,
Yeah.
say your goodbyes.
Yeah, like I said, you guys tune in and make sure that you guys continue to speak on it. Don't hold those conversations and topics and all that stuff in.
Yeah.
All right.
And everybody remember, encourage one another and stay encouraged. And we will talk to you soon. Take care.